Hey guys, it's Fadra from allthingsfadra.com, and another week, another car. As you can see behind me, I've got a Mazda, the Mazda CX-9, and where am I? I'm in front of my library. Why? Because I'm gonna school you on this CX-9. Let's take a look at this beauty. Now, this is Mazda's largest SUV. I happen to have it in the Signature Edition, which is a step above the Grand Touring. This basically gives you every single option you could imagine. What you're looking at right now is the machine gray metallic. This is one of their signature colors for this model. Now you notice the rear styling is something that you're going to start to see in their other SUV models. In fact, you'll see it on the new CX-5. But other things you want to look at on the outside are the 20-inch alloy wheels, the aluminum roof rails, which actually blend very nicely into the design of the vehicle. The other thing that's really great about this model is that it has a power lift gate. Easy to open with plenty of cargo space in the back and the ability to close it with the touch of a button. Where I think Mazda really differentiates itself on this CX-9 is on the interior. Wait until you see all of the upgrades that come with the signature trim. This is the interior of the Mazda CX-9, and I'm noticing you may not have picked up on this, but I think my shirt and my lips match the color of the seat. These seats are actually called Auburn. It's kind of a maroon look to the car. It gives it some nice definition, but I would definitely have to get used to it. I'm not sure if this is an interior color that I would go with, but it does come in several other colors. Now, what are some of the awesome options that you're going to see? Well, like I mentioned, with the signature trim, you're going to get the Napa leather trimmed upholstery. You'll get a power driver seat, power front passenger seat, and you have aluminum and rosewood interior trims. It, of course, has the thing that I love about Mazda, the command console, which controls everything on the screen. The screen to me has that design that a lot of newer models have of an iPad coming up out of the dashboard. I love the look of that, but I did find there was a little glare at night for me. All of the fun isn't just up front. This is actually a 7-passenger vehicle. So we're going to check out the second row and the third row, and then I'm going to tell you my favorite thing about this vehicle. Welcome to the second row. What you'll see behind me is something that would come in handy if you're a family driver, which I think that they're probably assuming the drivers and buyers of the CX-9 are. It's got these great sunshades, which are really good if you have little kids back here and they're just whining because the sun is in their eyes. The other thing that's great back here is it's got its own separate climate control, which is really awesome. Not only do you have adequate vents, but you also have adequate control for both the temperature and the fan speed. So no one's saying, I'm hot or I'm cold. You could comfortably fit 3 people in this back seat. And if you don't have 3, then you can easily use the center console, which much to your children's delight, or adults, has 2 USB ports so they can keep their devices charged, as well as cup holders. But wait, there's more. As I mentioned, this has third row seating, so we're going to discover the third row together. In order to put the third row seat up, it's actually easier than I thought. You simply grab the handle and you pull. Lift the headrests up and you're ready to go. Now let's see how much room we have back there. Hello, lovelies, and welcome to the third row. Now the third row is actually very comfortable. The second row seat slides forward and actually gives me a lot of leg room. Now my knees are still up kind of high, so if you're a really tall person it might still be a little uncomfortable, but I have tons of leg room right here between me and the second row seating, and the person in the second row still has plenty of leg room between the second and the first. Got all that? Well, you stuck with me to the end, and I promised that I would tell you about my favorite thing with the CX-9. My very favorite thing is the engine. It's the Skyactiv G 2.5 liter turbo engine, and this thing has some kick to it. It's got 227 horsepower, but it's a 310 pound-foot of torque that really makes it zippy, and when you put it in sport mode, this thing will take off. Now, that comes at a cost. The fuel economy averages about 23 miles per gallon, somewhere between 20 and 26, depending on city and highway. I drove it for a week, mainly highway, and I got about 22.1 miles per gallon. So I would say that estimate is pretty accurate. I could probably do a little bit better if I drove a little bit better. But overall, I would say this is a great 7-passenger SUV. I've already confessed that I'm a Mazda fan. I'm actually a Mazda owner, but this car has actually been a pleasure to drive all week. As outfitted, the 2017 Mazda CX-9 Signature all-wheel drive comes in at $45,755. I bet you could do better than that though. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more car reviews just like this, and you know you do, be sure to like and subscribe and let me know, leave me a comment, and you never know what's coming next.